Nah, bro, we just smack a diddly dude some longs, bro. Great day, bro. You guys see, sorry if you guys hear some Discord notifications, but this is the trade from today. Got stopped out in profit for a little over $1,000 with just 3 micros. I told the guys in the Discord that today was going to be lower size for me because the ranges were huge, right? In order for my stop loss to be where I wanted it to be, I needed to be sized in a little lighter. But as you guys know from all my videos, my trades are usually, all right, bro. Literally, bro, give me 3, 2, 1. You're going to do not disturb because my Discord's getting spammed. Nah, but look, this is the trade from today. Over what, like 170 points when I got stopped out. This ended up going like over 300 points total, right? But this was like at around 230 area. So at this point, I was ready to start managing this heavily. I don't want to see any retracements, but you guys will see. You guys will see the trade. There was a beautiful re-entry as well that a bunch of people in the Discord ended up taking, which is awesome because I wasn't even live at that moment. So the fact that everyone in that free Discord is starting to learn how the strategy works and able to operate on their own is the whole reason why I ended up doing the free Discord and how it's the whole reason why I started this. So it's pretty fire to see that. But anyway, let's get into the actual recap. Today's gonna actually be really, like, I really want a lot of people to watch this video from the Discord because this is um a pretty, it was a tricky day, right? But it was very textbook. It was super textbook. The directional bias was very clear. Now the execution, you guys will see. This is why I preach for people to wait for the 15 and 5 minute gaps to be formed, but you guys will see. So going into, let's go to replay mode here. So boom, you guys know, or if you don't know, if you guys knew, I trade PO3s, 4-hour candle CRT. So I wait for this new 4-hour candle to open up every single morning. So I go live like 15 minutes after market open to kind of get prepared for the market, and then I trade the new 4-hour candle. So if you guys don't know, like, my actual strategy, it's called the full circle strategy. I have a video on it. Like, if you scroll down to my YouTube channel after this video, you'll find it. It's like my strategy video, my mechanical model. But look, so going in, this is literally the 8:30 15-minute candle. So this was the first candle of the day. Obviously, selling off very hard after taking out some of this LRL. Obviously, we were also in like this all these gaps, right? We had this huge sell off last Thursday. All these imbalances. We're starting to feel these. We're starting to dump. So when I hopped on the charts at the start of the live, this is what I said. I said, guys, we have 2 areas here. So one of them, oh, well, the 4-hour just kind of spoiled it when I switched to it. But we had this 4-hour gap below. What did this 4-hour gap line up with? Well, first let me get it marked out. We had 4-hour gap below, right? Why did I like this 4-hour gap over the one that we were currently testing, like before the test of this bottom one? Because it lined up with equilibrium. So if you take the fib retracement tool on TradingView and take it from this swing low to this swing high, this recent swing low, last down move before this up move, and then we started to retrace, you take your fib tool and you look at this 15-minute gap, and now that we're back on the 15 minutes, it's a little more clear. But what happened? I was like, guys, okay, this is a pretty big sell-off. If they can form a 15-minute gap going into our new 4-hour candle, then we can start to try to look for a PO3 to short into this zone as far as like a target. So let's see what happens. Hello? There it is. So boom, you guys can see they pretty much like the 15-minute gap never even got formed. Mind you, this is 8:45's 15-minute candle, so we're not even at the new 4-hour candle open yet. So I should the new 4-hour candle open. So this was just all stuff I was analyzing before I was even looking for a trade. So what did I see, and what do you see right here? The 4-hour gap got tested. Where did we test? Literally to the tick, the golden zone of that fib I just showed you guys, which is what we have marked out on the charts if you guys were in the live. Literally tick that like perfectly. So from here I was like, okay, that's bouncing out a very, very nice area. Got a huge wick, pretty much closed that whole 15-minute gap. So as far as any sort of bearish move, if you guys know my strategy, you know I want to see some sort of PO3 into a 15-minute gap. Usually it's a 50-minute gap. So we pretty much have none. We don't have one anymore. It's very small, but it is there. But where we're bouncing off of is super strong. And you guys will see. So if I head over to the 4-hour chart here, the 4-hour candle, it just closed right there on that candle I showed you. So what did I do? I took the fib. So we wicked a 4-hour. This is a little off. Like usually I instantly go into like the 5-minute, 15-minute chart. I want to show you guys what I was kind of thinking as far as narrative because this ended up going crazy as you guys know. So I want to make sure you guys are understanding how I figured out like, okay, well this thing is ready to go. So just off hitting OTE, the golden zone in that 4-hour gap, wicking it and getting that strong close was beautiful within itself. That's like a very, very strong sign. All the time frames were looking super strong out of that area. But what's next? New 4-hour candle is about to open. Like I don't want to play the next candle because it'll show the whole next 4 hours. But this is what I marked out. If you guys were on the live stream this morning on the free Discord, by the way, if you guys aren't in the free Discord, make sure you guys join us. I'm gonna put it in the description of this video. Just join it and go to the public chat. So if you guys join the Discord, that's in the description, and go. Make sure you guys claim free access. So click claim free access, and then come to the public chat and type from YouTube. Once you guys type from YouTube, I'll add you guys into the free premium. But anyway, if you guys were in there, you saw me mark this out. The rejection. So this 4-hour put in a huge wick. It just closed right here. It put in a huge wick off that key area that was like super strong. So what did I do? I took the fib retracement of that wick as well. So for now, let's go ahead and delete this other OT that we tapped to the tick, so it's a little more clean. This is, I put the fib retracement on this rejection wick. What is a rejection wick? It's basically, I like to use it on the 4-hour chart. Basically, this wick right here that we just put in on this 4-hour candle, the candle's closed. We have to wait for the candle to close, by the way. It rejected, or in this case, bounced off of a super exact key area that looks super strong. So what did I do? I took the fib of that, and as we drop down, and you guys can see, as we drop down, this is the fib retracement of that rejection wick. What happens? New 4-hour candle opens. They instantly come test it. What do they do after they test the OTE, the golden zone of the rejection wick? They can't close below it. They hold it and start to bounce. So that's two like exactly like beautiful, just great things for longs. However, what do you guys notice? You guys that were in the live, remember this. So I go live from 8:45 a.m. Central to 11 a.m. Central, and you guys will notice that were in the stream, there was no call out in that time. We walked down, I broke down price the whole time, just no entry model for my strategy in that time. You guys will notice that the entry was actually after I ended the live, and then there was another entry at the new 4-hour candle at 1 p.m., which I'll show you guys as well. But the entry I took, I'm going to show you guys first. So you guys will see, new 4-hour candle opened up. It's looking like it wants to set in the bottom wick of the new 4-hour candle at the OTE of that rejection wick, which is perfect because we're already bouncing off this OTE of the whole range in that 4-hour gap. So everything's lining up perfect for buy side. There is one problem, and it's that ES is already above all these highs. So ES already took out all this LRL, and Q not even close. So like the S&T today was very unique. It was very unique. Not much days where NQ and ES are that different, I guess you could say. But that didn't stop the fact that we were bouncing 2 times off of some very key 4-hour areas, which put me in a bullish bias. So let's get rid of that as well, because we ended up holding the OT of that. And you guys will see this whole time. So I'll play it, and you guys can see pretty slow movement here, right? There's not, you guys will see it until right here, which let me slow down because I think this is nearing my entry. But until right here, there was no 5-minute gaps being created. I'm on the 5-minute chart now. There's no fair value gaps being created this whole time I was on Discord live this morning for New York AM. I trade the new 9 a.m. candle. New 9 a.m. candle opens up here. Chop City. What happens here? Kind of get the breakout, but no fair value gaps. No fair value gaps, no fair value gaps. We finally get one right here, right? That's why I appreciate you guys. Wait for 15 and 5-minute gaps to get formed because you're always going to have re-PO3 entries inside of them. So what happens? Let's jump over to the 15-minute chart. And you guys will see pretty much Chop City, but we're holding that area. And what does the hourly chart look like? Look at this hourly chart, guys. I mean, if this doesn't scream that this was like a bottoming right here, then I don't know what does. This looks beautiful because not only does this scream bottoming just off price action, off huge wicks in general, you got to remember, this wick is at OT of the range exactly. This wick is at OT of the rejection wick exactly. So like, this was just where I got the bias from, right? Once you have the bias, once you have a narrative on the market, your any PO3s are valid. That's why I like to preach to the guys in the Discord that they're like, why didn't this PO3 work? Oh, I took a PO3 at this time. You need to line up time, so new 4-hour candle opens with narrative, right? You need to have higher time frame narrative. You need to have a higher time frame breakdown on the market. So I just showed you guys 2 4-hour areas that are respecting to the perfect time. That now we're on the buy side of the curve. Any sort of PO3s are going to be valid, which is why the people in the Discord caught the 1 p.m. entry later. But I'm about to show you guys right now the entry that I took, which made me catch 170 points, $1,000 with just stop time profit for $1,000 with just 3 micros. So about to get into it right now. So basically, what happened? I just showed you what happened. Everything's starting to bounce where it needs to. So what I do, I just waited for a 15-minute gap. Boom, right here. After all morning. Now at this point, it's 10:30. So I think around this area. Yeah, there it was. So if you guys were in live, you actually remember I ended a little bit earlier than 11 today because of not many gaps being created. They finally formed a gap once I left. 15-minute gap. So you could have argued, oh, you could have tried to bottom tick this. That's not my strategy. You could have bottom ticked the rejection wick at the new 4-hour candle open. Not my strategy. What I do, wait for a 15-minute, 5-minute gap to be formed. Look for the re-PO3. So what happens? We finally form a 15-minute gap. This is way at 10:30 a.m. We finally form a 15-minute gap. So boom, I drop down to the 1-minute chart. And what happens? We form this kind of LRL move right here. And what happens? So it's pretty simple, bro. Just wait for that 15-minute gap to get formed. If we get a PO3 and we're holding it, then take your longs. If we come down and disrespect it, then you just have to wait more, because there's like all this resting lows here. There's things like that. So you just gotta have your key areas, have your bias, have your not bias, but have your narrative, and watch out for it. So what happens? You guys can see we test it pretty aggressively here, right? What happens after we test it aggressively? We aggressively, so like look, we take out all this LRL testing the 15-minute zone. So we finally formed a 15-minute zone on the whole morning. We couldn't even get one. We finally get one, and we aggressively test it, creating bearish for value gaps. These are some of the best like PO3s. Like when you're getting manipulation into a zone and creating for value gaps, because what does that mean? They can instantly come and inverse these because people are going to want to try to short out of these. So we form 2 bearish for value gaps that instantly get ate up. Like they get closed above, and you guys will see my entry was at 24,872. So where is this close right here? 24,872. So it was like somewhere, yeah, right here. So it was somewhere right here was my entry. 872 is right here. So what happened was, yeah, 872 is like right there. 872 is my entry. What happened was this candle was already closing super far above this 1-minute gap. There was like when there was 4 seconds left or something, it was like way above it at 872. So I went ahead and took my entry, but the entry was the IFEG of this, and then you could have got another entry at the IFEG of both of them. Either way, I just wanted to make sure I'm in this because at this first one, because price was beautiful, everything lined up. So boom, what happens from there? There's a reason I was 3 micros today, guys. There was a reason I was 3 micros. Why was I 3 micros? If I was 5 micros, I couldn't have put my stops at this low. Could I have? Yes. Would it have been 33 points? Yes. 5 micros, 33 points. Not ideal, right? I usually want to be in like the 20-point area with my stop loss, which you could have been in the 20-point. You could have had a 20-point stop with 5 micros and been protected by this 1-minute bullish gap, but that's it. You couldn't be protected by this swing low on the manipulation. You couldn't be protected by this 5-minute gap. You couldn't be protected by this 15-minute gap. Sorry, you couldn't be protected by that. You couldn't be protected by this lows. So either one, you could have had aggressive stops here at this 1-minute gap. You could have had stops at this swing low, which is where I put them, and then you could have had stops below the whole 15-minute zone, which is the most protected one, but obviously the biggest risk as far as points. So I think I fluctuated my, like it started here. As soon as we took out initial highs, I moved it here to that low. So 34-point stop. That's the reason I was 3 micros today, and I explained that in the call. And then as far as targets, man, so this whole Asia session had accumulation, right? We get this aggressive move into that area. I already went over the OTE area in that 4-hour zone, and then OTE of the rejection wick. And then we finally, after all this, like 2 hours after bouncing off that area, we finally form a 15-minute gap, which is, so if you have the patience to not get killed, because a lot of people blew their accounts. They lost money in this area because this is tricky. It's a bunch of wicks. You guys see how big these wicks are. And like these are stopping people out. This wick alone right here, like 20 points. Like the ranges are so big right now. A lot of volatility, a lot of news on NASDAQ. So, I mean, a lot of people blew their accounts in this area, or at least lost money. So that's why I preach wait for 15-minute or 5-minute gaps to be formed. There's always going to be re-entry. The people, because I caught this entry after stream, so the people that didn't get in, we even talked about this. New 4-hour candle is going to present a re-PO3 because according to the 4-hour candle CRT, every 4-hour candle, so if you guys don't have this indicator, HTF power of 3, which I'll get into the re-entry model that a bunch of people in the Discord took, every 4-hour candle should have a open, low, high close, open, low, high close for a bullish scenario, or open, high, low close for a bearish scenario. So I was like, you can find an entry there. There's no need to sweat it. I mean, this is the buy side of the curve. But yeah, you guys will see it kind of how this played out. I mean, we'll just put it. You guys can see I ran to like 25.38 for like 170 points. So 25.38 is way up here for about a 5R, even with that pretty big stop. Even with that big stop, it's a 5R, 160 points. And you guys can see how this ended up playing out. Like, great momentum here. Boom, look at that momentum there. Crazy, crazy stuff, crazy stuff. But what happens now? Everyone's like, oh, because I sent this in the chat on how it finally formed a gap, and I took the trade, and it's going really good. I sent like some of my I moved my stops up in profit. I was like, here's my trade I'm currently in. So everyone's like, oh, of course it happened right after the live. How can we enter? Like, I really want to enter this. Wait for the new 4-hour candle. What is my strategy? If you guys haven't checked my strategy video, you need to check it out, because what is my strategy? Wait for the new 4-hour candle open. So even though right here it's 11:30 a.m. Central Time, there's about an hour and 30 minutes till the new 4-hour candle. So sadly, you missed this first entry. It happened a little late. It happened a little awkward. It wasn't the cleanest setup of all time as far as like lower time frame price action entry model. As far as high time frame, it was beautiful. But so boom, let's just play this out till that new 4-hour candle. So as you can see, the trade I was in, it's just running. I'm letting it run, and we'll wait for this new 4-hour candle to open up. Wait for it to open up. Boom, new 4-hour candles opened up. So now, what do you want to see? Same thing as kind of the first one. The first one put in an open, then it put in a low in this significant POI, and then we found our PO3 entry and caught 160 points. The people that didn't get in, what do we have now? We have new 4-hour candle, right? Let's go over to our hourly chart, which once again like spoils the move. But new 4-hour candle opened up here, right? Going into the new 4-hour candle, what do you have? This big hourly zone. After already having this bullish, like the trade I took, we already have this. Now we formed a big hourly gap. So let's drop back down. Going into this new 4-hour candle open, we have this huge hourly gap, right? So let's just make this smaller for now. You guys already saw my trade. What do we have going into the new 4-hour candle? New 4-hour candle open up. That's the first step. Accumulation range, right? Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. I trade PO3s that align with the 4-hour candle CRT. So although you just missed out on, from the very bottom, it was like a 300-point move from this bottom, 160 point from here. Don't chase, don't force bad setups. Wait for A+ setups. A lot of guys are like, oh, this is so boring. Like, we don't get a lot of trades. Patience pays, man. I'm having one of my biggest months of all time. Like, I think this trade puts me up over like 17 grand, something like that total on this month, man. And that's all with trading 5, sometimes like today 3 micros. It's not crazy sizing. There's a bunch of room for scalability. But like I said, guys, new 4-hour candle opens up. That's your first step. Second step, wait for accumulation. So now we got this accumulation range already going into it. So we don't have to wait. We already have it. We also have low resistance liquidity going in, which is just trendline liquidity going into this hourly zone. So boom, here you go again. Drop down to the 1-minute chart. You want to see price come and put in a bottom wick of this 4-hour candle. So it opened here. You want to see it come put in a bottom wick. What does it do? Instantly dumps to the hourly. So here you go. You got the same sort of stuff from earlier. You have new 4-hour candle open, accumulation, manipulation. So this is the manipulation into the higher time frame POI that aligns with the narrative. Everything's good as far as that. Now you just want to wait for the entry model. So if you jump over to the 5-minute chart, you could do 1 minute, 5 minute, whatever you need to do. 5-minute IFG, 5-minute CISD, 1 minute IFG, 1 minute CISD. It just depends on narrative. But in this case, we're on the 5-minute, and boom, you guys can see right here we get the 5-minute CISD, and we close above the CE of this 5-minute gap. So this is what a lot of people ended up taking in the Discord. Absolutely beautiful reentry, clean, power of 3. There's always going to be re-PO3s. In a trend, look, guys, this is why I stress never. So this, imagine like, or not imagine, like, let's say this was the bottom for today, because I mean it was. We had the PO3 into that significant area. We started to bounce. We shifted structure, creating gaps. Why do I tell you guys not to panic and get FOMO? Because in the buy side of the curve, this is normal. If you don't catch the first PO3, you're going to see price get the re-PO3. You guys hear me say re-PO3 a lot. You have PO3 at the bottom, then we start to get buy side of the curve. There's going to be re-PO3s on this buy side of the curve. So what I'm showing you right now is literally the re-PO3 after getting the super bullish PO3 here. We get the re-PO3 here. And that's just how the market moves. Eventually it ends up topping out, starts to reject, shifts structure, and then you get the re-PO3 to the downside. Like, it's just how. That's the reason I started trading PO3s a few years ago, or like a year ago, whatever. Whenever I started specifically trading PO3s, it's the reason I started. It's just how the market moves. I mean, it allows you to catch these trades, it allows you to be patient and wait for your setups, no matter what. I mean, it might be boring sometimes waiting, but it ends up paying the bills. I mean, we're on a crazy win streak right now. But yeah, this closed above, and you guys will see even this trade alone, the re-entry ran like 160 points or something as well. The ranges have been crazy. So, as far as stops, I mean, you could put them, below these series of up-close gaps. So like a 34-point stop. Obviously, your first TP needs to be at these accumulation highs here, putting you at like a 2R for the initial move. But like I said, this ended up literally instantly running pretty much no drawdown at that 5-minute close. hit that area, and then like I said, I'm pretty sure that, yeah, look at this. This thing went absolutely crazy. Ended up going, so at that 5 entry, 135 points from that entry, and then yeah, market was closed here. So literally from that entry alone, another 4R after the bottom caught a 5R, right? 160 points here, 130 points here. If you didn't catch the bottom, if you missed out on the AM because of how weird or sloppy it was, new 4-hour candle opens, accumulation, manipulation is set on the bottom. Look at the 4-hour candle, distribution after 5-minute IFG or CISD, 130 points there. Just absolutely beautiful textbook day. Was it a little tricky? Was price action a little sloppy in the morning? Yes, but it was sloppy, so there was no trade. Once they started setting up an actual trade, two beautiful setups, over 100 points on both of them. As you guys already saw from my screenshot, this was like 170 points here. Got stopped in profit for plus 1,000 with 3 micros. Beautiful day. Like I said, if you guys aren't in the Discord I do is free right now. Take full advantage of me. Ask questions, join all the lives. You guys need to take advantage of that because it's not going to be free forever. But it is going to be free for a while, so make sure you guys are tuning into that. It's in the description. I'll go through how to join it one more time. So make sure you guys join it, right? Click it, join it, and then press claim free access. After you claim free access, go to the public chat and type from YouTube. Just type from YouTube. I add you guys to the free premium. But anyways, thank you guys. I'm pretty sure we hit 1,000 subs. If not, we're like really close to 1,000 subs. So if you guys are liking this content and you guys want more, just make sure you guys drop a sub, drop a like, and comment any video ideas you guys want. But thanks for all the subs, guys. This was a great recap. Let's keep killing it. We got Thanksgiving this week, so make sure you guys enjoy, spend some time with your family. Take the day off on Thursday. Don't be sitting there trying to trade, man. Go eat some good food. Spend time with your family. Have a great time. But I'll be live tonight on TikTok and in the morning in the Discord for Wednesday. But yeah, great day. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.